Good day everyone. Today we are going to present the data we've collected from 11 corn varieties. So we will look at their performance based on key traits, compare their strengths, and highlight which one showed the most potential. So let's begin by examining data for each variety. So let's start with table 1. As you can see, the data presents the total mean performance of 11 corn varieties. It is ranked from highest to lowest. The variety labeled dummy achieved the highest mean yield of 3,677.864, outperforming all other entries. This suggests it has a strong potential as a high-yielding variety. Among the named varieties, TCT1840 and KK1614 and TCT1851 follows closely, indicating good performance and possibly favorable traits for future selection or hybridization. On the other hand, traditional or check varieties like J505 and Pagpapala rank lower, with a total mean around 2,708, suggesting they may be less competitive under the current field conditions. The variety Gorilla and the KK series showed intermediate performance, which may be still useful depending on their agronomic traits such as resistance or maturity. Overall, the data indicates clear variability in yield potential across the varieties, with certain entries like Dummy and TCT1840 standing out as the promising candidates for further evaluation or use in breeding programs. So let's proceed with Table 2. So in Table 2, the Silken data ranks 11 corn varieties based on their average days to reach 5% silking, an indicator of flowering earliness. As you can see, TCT1848 was the earliest to silk, with a mean of 3.05 days. It is followed closely by TCT1840, Dummy, and KK1615, all under 3.01 days. This suggests that these varieties may have the earlier maturity, which can be advantageous in areas with shorter growing seasons or where early harvest is preferred. On the other hand, J505 showed the latest silking at 2.825 days, placing it at the bottom of the ranking. While the numerical differences between varieties are small, even slight earliness can be significant in time-sensitive farming conditions. Overall, most varieties showed similar silking times, indicating a relatively uniform earliness across the group, with a few standing out for being slightly quicker to flower.
The data shows the average plant height of 11 corn varieties ranked from the tallest to shortest. TCT1848 stands out with a significantly higher mean height of 15.095, indicating a strong vegetative growth advantage. It is followed by TCT1840 and TCT1851, suggesting that the TCT series generally tends to grow taller compared to others. Mid-rank varieties like Dummy KK1614 and J505 show moderate height, while varieties such as Pag-asa, KK1615, and Gorilla fall on the shorter end, with Pag-asa having the lowest mean height of 7.405. Taller plants may offer better competition against weeds and potentially higher biomass, but they could also be prone to lodging. In contrast, shorter varieties might offer more stability under windy conditions or in high-density planting systems. Overall, plant height variations among the varieties provides valuable information for selecting types suited for specific field conditions or management goals. The data ranks 11 corn varieties based on mean ear length, an important trait linked to potential grain yield. Surprisingly, the Czech variety J505 ranked highest with a mean ear length of 2.4675, showing it still performs well in this trait despite lower overall yield in previous data. TCT1851 and Pag-asa follow closely, suggesting good ear development potential. Varieties like KK1614 and TCT1840 also performs well, while Gorilla, Dummy, and TCT1848 showed the shortest ear lengths, possibly limiting their yield despite other advantages like height or earliness. Overall, ear length variation is noticeable, while some newer or experimental varieties not necessarily outperforming the Czech, indicating that further selection or improvement may be needed for this trait.
Shelling recovery. Shelling recovery reflects the proportion of grain obtained after removing it from the cob, which directly impacts net yield and marketable produce. Among the varieties, TCT 1840 recorded the highest shelling recovery at 21.19%, indicating excellent grain yield efficiency. Dummy, Pagpapala, and Gorilla also shown strong performance, suggesting they produce well-filled ears with a high grain-to-cob ratio. In contrast, G505 ranked lowest with a recovery of 19.16%, which may partly explain its lower overall yield observed in early data. The KK series, or KK1614, 1615, 1616, also shown moderate to low shelling percentage, potentially limiting their net productivity, despite other positive traits. This data emphasizes the importance of combining yield with a post-harvest efficiency when selecting varieties for production or breeding. In grain yield is the most critical trait in evaluating corn varieties. The variety Dummy once again outperformed all others with a mean of 3644.075, maintaining its top position from the total yield ranking. TCT 1840 and KK1614 follow closely, showing consistency in high productivity and suggesting strong potential for future breeding or commercial use. Mid-ranking varieties such as TCT 1851, Pagpapala, and KK1616 delivered competitive yield, while TCT 1814 and J505 had the lowest grain yield, tied at 2668.55, reinforcing earlier findings of G505 lower overall performance under the given condition. This result underscored Dummy, TCT 1840, and KK1614 as the most promising candidates for high grain production, combining yield potential with performance stability.
So in conclusion, the Dummy variety consistently performed as a top-ranking hybrid across the most critical yield-related metrics. It achieved the highest total mean score and significantly the highest grain yield in 50%, indicating its superiority productivity in this trial. While Dummy excelled in overall yield, other varieties shown strength in specific agronomic traits like TCT 1840 was also a strong performer, ranking second in both total mean and grain yield in 50%. And notability in shielding recovery has 25%, indicating efficient grain to cob conversion. TCT 1848 demonstrate early maturity by ranking first in days silking and also exhibit the tallest plant. However, these traits did not translate to high grain yield, as it ranked near to the bottom of the grain yield 50%. G505 Siki, a control variety, shown the longest ear length but performed poorly in overall yield and shielding recovery, highlighting that a single favorable trait doesn't guarantee overall superiority. In essence, the trial successfully identified high-performing conventional yellow corn hybrids, with Dummy emerging as the most promising variety for overall yield aggregate performance, allowing closely by TCT 1840 and Kiki 1614. The data provides valuable insight for selecting superior corn genotype for cultivation in dry season, in similar to environment, and for future breeding programs.